Good afternoon. How are you all? Komodo, CJ, Sam, Mermaid. Hopefully you're all doing well. Happy Monday. Where am I? Here. How not to social media? No, not your Twitter, CJ. Not far from it. No, I'm kidding. No, yours is fine. Should be over on this tab, actually. Where was I going? Ah, yeah, the whole people lurking in your channel 24/7. I've got a couple people who do that in my channel, and they're legitimate people. And I don't know if they just keep a tab open, but I appreciate the lurk all the same. Flippo! Thank you very much for your 5 months. It kind of worked. Flippo, thank you very much for your 5 months. I've been hyping the chat. Thank you, buddy. Thank you for supporting. Thank you for keeping the lights on, keeping this thing going. Appreciate it. How you doing? I have the same amount of hair as you, Sam. Possibly less. Possibly less. But yeah, no, the whole lurking thing. There are a couple accounts that actually lurk my channel 24/7. They're real people, and sometimes they do come into chat. Majority of the time they lurk, and that's perfectly fine. They're not hurting anyone. I can only assume, like I say, they're just keeping a tab open to help. But like Komodo said, there are some people who try the lurk for lurk thing. They'll lurk in the idea that someone will check them out as well. Hold on. Thank you, Violet.
Roses are red, violets are blue. Here is my prime. I use it on you.
I love the rhyme. Violet, thank you very much for 10 months of using your Twitch Prime. Thank you very much for choosing my channel to use it on. I really appreciate it. Roses are red, violets are blue. Here is my prime. I use it on you. I like it. Violet, how you doing? Happy Monday.
Choo choo, bitches.
Choo choo, bitches.
You've heard of raid and run? How about sub and brush?
Sub and brush? Grim, thank you very much as well for your 20 months. Holy crap. It's a long time. Thank you very much for your support as well. Keeping the dream going. You just woke up and you need to brush your teeth. Oh, gotcha. That makes more sense then. Nice. Happy Monday. Thank you very much for the subs all right at the start of the stream. Really appreciate you guys. Thank you. That reminds me, though. I need to take a note of something. Hold on. Sam, thank you very much for the follow. Welcome to the Dome. That reminds me of something. So, you had to think if it was Monday. Yeah, sometimes it's the same. Frank's holiday started, so taking some time to just chill and stuff. Ooh, nice. Do you have anything in particular planned, Violet, or just chilling? Sometimes they're just as good. Haas is following again? Yeah, so I got followed by the long Haas name as soon as I went live, and banned it. And as soon as I banned it, a separate one showed up lurking away, so I banned that one as well. Yeah, there's 1,000 of them at the moment. Next Monday we go to the spa, and that Friday you go to a very cool restaurant. Nice. Sounds nice. Any particular type of restaurant? Italian, Japanese, whatever. But ooh, spa as well. Sounds pretty good. Yeah, the Haas names, if you're a streamer yourself, or if you're noticing the Haas name appear no text to speech. But thank you very much for the inappropriate amount of bits there, Grim, and trying to bump that train up to level 2. Close, very close. Where was I going? The Haas names. If you see them appearing in any channel and the streamer doesn't realize, tell them to ban it. It's part of this hate raid bot problem at the moment. Komodo, thank you very much for the corgi bits as well. Appreciate it. Not inappropriate amount of bits. I like the approach there. Keep it tame, keep it family friendly, brand friendly, and everything. Thank you. You've been to the restaurant once before. It's called Dinner in Motion. They project all kind of cool things on the walls and the tables, and it's incorporated in the dishes. Well, that sounds pretty cool, actually. Frank hasn't been there. Nice. That actually sounds pretty cool. Just edged me over the edge. Thank you. Thank you, Commander. So hold on. Dinner in Motion. I'm just going to do a quick Google. You'll send some pictures? Cool. I appreciate it. Does look cool. Does look cool, gotta say. Is it Netherlands? Yeah, the quick Google. I wondered if there was more than one, but no, it seems to be just the one. You can see some pictures. It's very cool. Is it interactive at all? Like if you do something, it changes, or is it just like constantly projected? This sounds very cool. Only there, 2-hour drive for you. Sounds worth it. Sounds worth it. In many channels, you don't get text-to-speech due to your chosen bit amount. Do people block the certain amount? I think I've got it set to 100. 100 is the minimum for text-to-speech so that people can't spam it, especially during these times. Got Crackle behind the green screen here telling me that's rude. Am I a fan of the Never-Ending Story? Yes, that's actually the motivation behind the name, the channel name, Sam. Originally, when I started streaming, I was going to theme everything around Never-Ending Story, and at the moment, it's just the name and my channel currency. That's it. Not in that sense, but they start off with a little man that guides you to eating your first dish and stuff. Very cute, actually. You insist on being a mature adult with your amount. It's fair. Fair. I appreciate it either way, Grim. Thank you. Where was I going? Got a few different subjects to chat about today. But let's hang out. Mermaid. All your PC parts are arriving this Wednesday. So you're building it same day, or are we going to make an event about it? And next follow-up question is, when do the streams start? Because I mean, you're gonna have to start streaming now with the PC that you're getting. Come on, it would be a waste otherwise. So yeah. Anyway, separately, having your IT guy build it. Is that why he's visiting? Because I remember you saying your boyfriend was visiting, right? Is that why he's visiting? So he can build your PC for you? No other reason other than that. Conveniently timed. Oh, he's moving there. Oh, right. I thought he was just holidaying. Oh, that's very cool. Congratulations. Let's not use PC specs as an excuse to stream or not stream. You'll be forced off the platform. Do you stream, Komodo? Yeah, it is a big step. Big step for Mermaid. Boyfriend's moving in. And you now have in-house PC repair tech guy. Almost 3 years of long distance. Wow, that is a long time. Stream is a strong word for it. It is a Komodo, yes. Yes, it is. Which means your PC always breaks when he's not around. That's true. But that's... It's a smart move, though, Violet, because it means he always needs to be around. You know, she can't just get rid of him because he needs to be there to keep the PC running. Been described as throwing up content on the interwebs. Yeah, Komodo, in the definition that anything is content, really, you know, or anything can be content. Yeah. Yeah. That's why Frank's still here. And to take him to a nice restaurant, clearly. Okay, that was the short one. You don't have many standards when it comes to Twitch? No, we know, Komodo. We've seen your streams. Thanks for the hype train emote. Hype heh. It's dogs again as well, or animals again. Congratulations to everyone who got an hype emote as well. They've been animals for a little while now. Maybe they're running out of ideas. I thought they were hiring emote artists as well to do them, but maybe they're not doing that anymore. You like them? Oh, nothing wrong with them as well. Better than the random ones. I mean, for a while they had some very well designed train emotes, so to speak. You know, like they looked like a train. The first one would be like the train engine, and you know, and there'd be a caboose at the end, sort of thing. But yeah, they seem to have just sort of given up on that. And they became weird, yeah. Yeah. Hold on a second. Right, sorry. You can recommend someone who streams without standards at all? Hey, you know, you just at me in the chat, Sam. Just at me in the chat. Where were we? Where was I? Stuff. Lots of stuff been going on lately. How's that? How's it been for everyone else? Lots of stuff going on. Have we had hate raids for any of the streamers out there? Have you witnessed any? It's still ongoing. It's still a problem. As we saw by being followed by one of the hate raid accounts. You've yet to encounter one. I'm still testing. I've still got the hashtag in my title, trying to goad them. I've still got my stream deck button ready. You've had none, which is good because you don't have the button to stop it yet. I mean, it's pretty easy to curb as it is manually, if you know what to do. But obviously, there's a bit of delay in doing it manually. But it's not too bad. You wish you had one to have some viewers for the commercial. I wonder how well it would work, because from what it seems, they're all automated accounts, or most of them are automated accounts. So not sure if you'll get a lot out of commercials, but at least you'll shove whoever's involved over to a commercial. Hate raids show some people got way too much time and negativity in their lives. Yes, Mermaid. I'm kind of two-sided on the opinion of that, though. It's either sad script kiddies, which is a high probability. There's a program you can run to do this, so it's very like just a couple clicks and boom, it'll do a hate raid. So it's either some bored script kiddies, or it's like someone who's learning, or you know, they're a developer or something, and they've found a vulnerability in Twitch's systems, and they're just going ham on it, you know, and Twitch isn't able to cap that hole in the system, so these people are just continuing it going and just being completely trolly and, you know, edgy and stuff. It's just one of those two options. You're gonna dip Violet Nowheres. Need to work out. Have fun working out. And if we don't see you again, have a wonderful time with Frank at the restaurant and at the spa, and just a good time off. Been fine here not wanting to tempt fate. Fair enough, CJ. Angry 13-year-olds, very likely, yep. More adults involved than we'd like to believe. Yes, I think so, Mermaid. Yep. Other day, there was this guy following, and on his side, he is streaming IPs. Oh, yeah, he'll be one of the accounts where it's taking IP addresses through a panel. Yep. No, Mermaid, it's not easy for Twitch to deal with. And we'll talk about that a little bit later, because it's actually on subject. But yeah, technically speaking, it's not easy for them to deal with. So it's going to take them time to patch it. And for a platform like Twitch, what they need to do is they need to find a technical solution, but a technical solution that doesn't make Twitch a harder platform to use for your average user or for new users. And you could curb the problem very easily by adding all sorts of two-factor requirements and all this sort of stuff. yes, they are spoofable, but it would make the experience more difficult for your everyday user, and they won't want to do that, because as soon as you start making the user experience more difficult, you have less people coming to the platform. And that's the last thing they want. They're trying to figure it out, but didn't find the solution yet. Yeah. Yeah. What are the hate raids motivated by? Sexism, racism, transphobia, you name it. Well, they're using anything that they can use against the streamer. So if the streamer is a person of color, they use race. If if they're bisexual or whatever, they use that. It's just whatever they can use. They're also looking at people's social media profiles to find something to then use, and they're targeting certain hashtags and certain tags and all this sort of stuff. So they're just using whatever they can to goad it. Seeing it scares you to stream? There's no reason to be scared to stream. If you've got a stream deck, you can set up one button that can lock down a hate raid relatively quickly. And let's be fair, other than the offensive text that they put in chat, they can't really do anything, right? It's non-impactful for you. Yes, it's offensive, the wording, and some of it can be very, very offensive. One particular woman is being doxxed because they somehow have her personal information, so they spam chat with her personal details. There's more than one? Okay. So, other than the offensive nature of the text itself, they can't do any damage to you. So if you have some buttons ready or active mods and all this sort of stuff, you can lock it down really quickly. Really quickly, shut it down. Yeah, nationality tags, yeah, absolutely, CJ. Same with a fake woman on Facebook. You cannot fall for it, but you catch one every day. Who will? Yeah. Mooncake? Absolutely. What kind of person do you have to be? And yeah, and have the time to do it. Yeah, absolutely. And carry it on this long. So normally trolls will last, maybe a week. Then their account gets locked down and they, move on. But this is so sustained through so many accounts and stuff. That's why I think it's people who are purposefully testing Twitch's systems. But anyway, yeah, Mermaid, there's no reason to be scared of the hate raids, and it's exactly what they want, is for you to, like, say, get discouraged and stop streaming. But go into sub-only mode, turn your alerts off, and literally they can't do anything to you after that. Not sure if you heard that. Crackle's behind me going, twist, or plot twist. Twitch is doing it. Or, YouTube is doing it. Yeah, I was just thinking, like, maybe it's YouTube, hiring some external agents to make Twitch a hostile platform so people start moving to YouTube. It's all tied in with Dr. Lupo and Timthetatman moving platforms. What is this following of Haas? Mixer, lol. So with the Haas account, Sam, and there's a range of these bot accounts that start with all sorts of different names as well. So it's not just Haas stuff. There's been Manolia was part of the name, and there's a whole bunch of others. What they do is they follow to entice people to go to their channel, right, to check them out. Like, oh, who's this person that's following me? You go over to their channel, and they've got a panel in the channel itself that grabs your IP address and posts it into a Discord that the script kiddies hate raiders are logging. What they can do with the IP address, not much, but unless you're very, very not, data secure on the internet, but generally speaking, not much. But it's scaring people anyway. There was a mini one in the channel you were watching the other day. A few people screaming, Italy is the best, but in Italian. I don't think that's a hate raid, but that'll be some sort of a raid promoted, or just spamming. We saw someone post on Twitter who said exactly that, being afraid to stream because of hate raids. While one part of me doesn't want them to hide their feelings, by not streaming, to me, that's letting the hate raiders win. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And we'll get onto the safety side of things a little later, because it's on subject to a few points we'll make. Like I've explained before, I've got a Stream Deck button where it puts us into sub-only mode. It turns all my alerts off. It turns the sound redemptions off. Pretty much any redemption in the channel off. And all this sort of stuff, because people have said put it in follow-only mode, but then they follow bot you. Or put it in emote-only mode, but people are spamming emotes in a, to use as in sort of a racist manner and stuff as well. So sub-only mode, you only have to do it for like 2 minutes as well. There's a lot of people who are against putting sub-only mode up, and it's like, but it's 2 minutes. Like, people can wait 2 minutes. Assumed it was targeted at English people? I mean, maybe. Italy thing's been around for a while, relatively harmless compared to the big ones though. Yeah. It's just annoying. You had a Turkish guy shouting out something, banned him, and after a few hours you checked it through the translator. Wasn't nice. But if he was lucky, then you did something good. Yeah. You can do the follower over a certain amount of time command. Yeah, you can do that as well. Which, yeah, I would recommend doing temporarily. So you can set a setting in your channel to say, people have to be following for 10 minutes, 5 minutes, a day, whatever. And only they can speak. Yeah, you can do that too. Some people have been talking about having it permanently, but I wouldn't recommend that for channel growth anyway, because having follower only mode in your channel is relatively quite, what would you call it? You go into a new channel, you see follower only mode on it, you almost immediately go, nah, and you're out. So yeah, definitely use it only temporarily. I had a train of thought I was going to say. But yeah, sub-only mode might entice some people to obstructive. Nice one, CJ. Sub-only mode might entice some people to sub as well. Yes, there is email verification as well. I've since turned that on myself as well, but it hasn't stopped raiders, because I turned it on and I got a hate raid. Which, what was it? Someone's actually been talking about all these accounts are email verified, because you can link more than one account to an email now. So they're linking multiple accounts to email. And we'll get onto that, because Twitch actually has responded in regards to that particular point. And yeah, they've got a little FAQ about how they're handling the problem and why it's taking things so long. They haven't provided a huge amount of detail, but it's a better response than what they've done for most other things, surprisingly. Which, hold on, let me see if I've got the right one. No, that was a day off Twitch. Combating targeted attacks. So they've got this whole page here, which I can throw in chat for you. It's talking about harassment, but obviously it's the same sort of stuff that they emailed out to everyone. So here's a whole bunch of ways that you can potentially stop hate raids or harassment. Appoint moderators. We won't go into that. Turn on follower only mode. Not a good idea. Not all time anyway. You can always update the follow age based on a specific situation or prefer setting an even higher bar. Try sub only. Turn on auto mod. Auto mod's a giant pain in the dick, especially at higher levels. If anyone's ever experienced it, auto mod, I've seen people turn it up and pretty much people are just making normal chat in chat, and it starts timing them out and all sorts of stuff because it picks up weird words, and it's not finely tuned. It's not the best. Email verification, which, as we've seen, doesn't actually stop things. and block raids from strangers, which helps in the actual hate raids where a streamer is being toxic, which we have seen some people do. There's been streamers who actually target other streamers and harass them and stuff, but in regards to these automated ones, that's not the case. They just generate a whole bunch of accounts that just spam in chat. It's not technically a raid, so to speak, in Twitch's terms. Tricky position. Provide too much detail of what they're doing. The script kiddies can amend their code. Yes. I actually mentioned that later on, CJ. And they are true in that point. Yes. But we'll go over that. Actions to take if you're targeted. So if you're getting a hate raid, clear chat. It's part of my stream deck button. Select a longer time horizon for follower only mode or sub only mode. Dial up your auto mod and the non-mod chat delay. Sure. Unique chat. Ban the accounts from your channel, which, you know, mods can do or whatever. And report the accounts, which is super time consuming. And you're not going to do that in the middle of your stream. Unless mods do it, you know, if they've got the time and capabilities. So back down in the FAQ is what I was wanting to show. So third-party tools available that seem to help. Won't you share information about them? We don't promote third-party safety tools, and yet, what did their email say about dealing with these problems? Use third-party tools. So they tell you to use third-party tools, but they're not going to promote any of them. You wanted to report host, but you only got network errors. Account might have been banned by the time you got to it. Sam. Vithika, how you doing? I got host. Yeah, just by one though. I had another one lurking in the channel, but yeah, just by one. They followed as soon as I went live. You banned him 6 times. He follows you every day. Is it one with an additional underscore after it each time? Because my one had about 5 underscores. I'm doing all right. It's a beautiful day outside today. Had a nice walk around the park with Crackle. Had some lunch. Streaming now. Doing all right. Yes, or capitals are another number. Yeah. There's literally like thousands of the Haas accounts. Is Florida here? I mean, you're not wrong. It's hot. It's humid, and there's like no breeze or no wind whatsoever. When we went for a walk, it was just super still. Even the Thames, where we went for a walk down to, it was like a lake, which is not very often. You love Florida and the tropical weather? I can pick a few other places a little bit nicer. Are you of the sea breeze? Well, at least you've got that. That would be nice. Sure. I could go for a nice sea breeze right now. You wish for some heat? You didn't have a summer? Did you not, Sam? I mean, be careful what you wish for, though. This one would move to Scotland for the weather. Crackle and I were literally talking about that on our walk. We were talking about, we can move to Scotland. Depending on where in Scotland, obviously. 3 or 5 days around 30 degrees. Sounds like British weather. British summer, I should say. Yes, Mooncake. Our weird landlord did show up for 5 minutes. So the thing was, when she originally wrote to us and she's like, me and the husband want to come up and see the house between Wednesday and Friday, you know, on this week, because they live in another city, so it's like a couple hours drive away and stuff. They're like, let us know which day works best for you, and we'll come up. And they emailed on like the Monday, and I emailed back that day just saying Friday's best for us. See you then. No response. No response. Just nothing for several days, and we're like, is she coming? Is she not? Did she see our email? Whatever. Anyway, come Thursday, she emails separately, doesn't even reply, but emails separately. Oh, is tomorrow still fine? I'm gonna come up by train instead of driving, so I'll be there by 11. So Originally, they're like, we can only make it between 12 and 3. It's all the time we've got because of travel time and all this sort of stuff. Now she's like, oh, I'll arrive at 11. Okay, well, that's outside your previous window, but yeah, sure, whatever. We'll be fine. We'll be here. So obviously, you know, we get up early in the morning, we make sure the place is tidy and all this sort of stuff. And then it's just, you know, Crackle's got the day off work. So we're just like, all right, well, she's going to show up anytime soon. 11 o'clock rolls around. At 11 o'clock, she texts us and says, oh, we're just stuck in traffic. We're going to go for lunch first and then show up. Great. So now you're driving again instead of taking the train. And it literally got to like 2:30. And we hadn't heard anything. We're just like, fuck this. We've been wasting our entire day just hanging around for her to show up. And we're like, fuck this. We're going to go for a walk. I think it actually got to 3 o'clock, I think, before we went to walk. We're like, it's outside the window of when she could come. Don't know if she's coming or not, because last time she just didn't show up at all. She didn't even message us or anything for days afterwards. She just ghosted us completely. So anyway, we're just like, we're going to go for a walk because we've been sitting around home all day. And I text her to say, just in case you show up, we've gone for a walk. We'll see you when we get back. She's got a key. And it's literally not until we've finished our walk and we're like just around the corner we get a text message and say, oh yeah, we're here. Place looks great. Bye. And like we just walk into our driveway and she's like getting ready to leave. She's literally here for 5 minutes. What's ghosting? Ghosting is ultimately just ignoring and not responding to any messages and stuff, Sam. So like we messaged her and she just nothing in response. And yeah, Vithica, we hate those sort of people as well. They can't set an hour. She's so flighty. You know, she can't set an hour. Like if she says an hour, she may or may not be, and like, or plans change like at the last second and all this sort of stuff. I just hate, like, can't stand those sort of people. But yeah, we caught her in the driveway and she gave us like this really quick spiel of like, oh yeah, it looks really nice. Yeah, see you, bye. And it's like, oh yeah, we had a list of things to like speak to you about, but yeah, you know, whatever. Bye. No, she didn't care. She just wanted to make sure the place hadn't burnt down and bye, you know. Yeah, ghosting is a common term for dating, yeah. Yeah. It's important to be on time. Yes. Yes, it is. Or, you know, when you give people a window to actually show up. But also the fact that she's like, oh, we're going to be late. We're just going to go to lunch first. And then she has like a fucking 3-hour lunch before she shows up. Anyway, enough complaining about her. I used to have a friend who would always tell the time to meet up an hour earlier than what it actually was, just so he'd be on time. I used to have a few friends like that as well. But the guy, like, they'll be like, yeah, I'll be there at 9, and it's like 12 o'clock before they show up. Yeah. It's important to be on time and stick to schedule. Yeah, come on. I mean, you know, people are busy. Time's money. Like I said, we were literally sitting around the house all day waiting for her to show up, thinking she was going to be here for a while or just see the place. But anyway, someone you were dating last year or the year before, she called and was straight up and she said she didn't think it would work and thanked her fully for not ghosting. Yeah, it's respect, right? You are that friend, Komodo? I'm not surprised. You're always early, and if you're not there on the dot, you'll be annoyed. So there's... I'm trying to think. There is actually a word for that in Vithica, I believe, or something. And you like to be on time, or you're a little bit early, right? So that you are on time. And you kind of put that expectation on other people. So like, yeah, if they're a minute late, it's like, what the fuck? Where have you been? Yeah, it's like having the same expectation on other people on being timely as well. But it's a respect thing. The word is being German. Efficiency. Challenge is, if you need to 100% be there on time, you need to reduce the things you're doing by 2/3. Yeah. You never say anything, and it's so annoying to feel like that. Oh no, I have it 100% with it. At my last job, I got so tired of every meeting. Just every meeting that I was in, I would be in the meeting room, say like 2 minutes before the meeting is meant to start, just so I could get my laptop sorted and all this sort of stuff. And whether the other people are remote, or in the office, or whatever, they were always late. Always. Everyone. The first person would show up 10 minutes after the meeting is meant to start. And it annoyed me so much where it got to the point where I would be in the meeting, and if people weren't in there 5 minutes after it's meant to start, I would just leave. Whether I was holding the meeting, whether I was meant to be in the meeting, I'd just go back to my desk and go back to work. And be like, oh, where were you? And be like, oh, where were you? And yeah, just be like, I've got more stuff to deal with, than waiting around, wasting my time. People are late to online team meetings. Yeah. Well, Crackle's behind the green screen going, she's late all the time to meetings as well. But I know for a fact her calendar is like triple booked for the entire day. So she's in another meeting. And if that meeting goes over by a minute, then she's a minute late to the next meeting because she's got, consecutive meetings all the time. We can be best on-time friends. I like the sound of it. Always on time, never disappoint. And if I'm caught up in something, I will message the person I'm meant to be meeting and be like, hey, I'm running late. Meetings taking extra long, traffic, whatever. It's just a little bit of respect. Everyone should react like that. Same in shops. If there's a common service not working, turn around, drop everything, and go. You have cameras, so a virtual meeting is the same as a real one. You need to get your drink beforehand. You need to be even better organized as they don't break for drinks on virtual meetings. That's true. Hey, Kiwi, how you doing? Not too loud, you're still working. No worries. No worries. Enjoy, but thanks for being here. So anyway, slight deviation. Returning to the subject matter at hand. The question about taking so long for Twitch to actually make a solution, they've directly answered that. Well, they've kind of directly answered that question. It's usually the directors who are late for you, Komodo. Bear, how you doing? So I can't remember if I shared this or not, but there's a link for you to this article. And Twitch said, why does it take so long to build new safety tools? And I've said this before they even posted this response, but Rasta, how you doing, by the way? Takes time and rigorous testing to develop tools that are effective site-wide and can scale globally. Has to work across all devices and regions. Now, there's no single solution to most safety-related issues, particularly when it comes to hate raids. When we launch a new safety tool, it is essential that it will work across devices at scale on day one. Because just imagine what will happen across all social media if Twitch doesn't get things right the first time. We see how people react to anything Twitch posts, and how, there's always some people who love it, and there's a ton of people who absolutely hate it, no matter what it is. Even if there was a perfect fix, there would be a ton of people hating on Twitch about it. Takes planning, testing, deployment from a highly specialized team who are working on this every day. Even once the tool is launched, the work is never done. One team is always monitoring, performing quality checks, blah, 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 blah. If only half works, people will be working around it before it's even fully running. Yeah. Hold on. Burger King wanted to pay with Payback points collection service. They have a points collection service over there? You can't do it, so you cancel order and went to another one. I mean, if it doesn't work. Yeah, so why can't you share more about what's in your roadmap? Now, I don't entirely agree with their response here. Malicious actors are agile and highly motivated. Ultimately, what they're saying is, in this little paragraph, is if Twitch shares what they're doing, then the malicious people will be changing their systems to circumvent it before it's even released, which is true if Twitch is providing any kind of vague idea about what technically they're doing. Does that mean they shouldn't provide a roadmap? No. Well, why? Sorry, Crackle's saying she doesn't agree with me. Yes, I get what I'm saying in regards to roadmap is more of a higher level roadmap of what Twitch is just doing in general. So, you know, they could just have safety measures or something that they're working on, or they're releasing a safety measure come September or something. But all the other stuff that they're working on as well. So all the new features and all this sort of stuff. Twitch's biggest problem to me is their lack of communication. They don't communicate on anything until they release something, or they don't respond to a lot of issues that are happening unless it's very bad, like the hate raids. It's uncommon for them to respond to this kind of stuff. So while they don't have to give technical details, I think if there was a roadmap just in regards to what projects they're working on or releases coming or whatever, I think would allay a lot of people's fears, because being left in the dark, a lot of people think Twitch aren't doing anything. No, it'll never be enough. There will always be people asking for the specifics, but yeah, no, what I'm saying is not just in regards to the safety features for a roadmap, is just an overall roadmap of what they're working on. The safety stuff and security stuff, they can't give details. I know that. They've at least come out saying they're working on it and they'll release something later this year, which is a bit rough. It's agile, yeah. Something you recommend for anti-cheats? Do a tool which destroys completely their computer. Yeah, it might be a little difficult. You can always have an outlined public roadmap. Yeah, so like a roadmap like what Klamesh did. They had a roadmap up, they might still do, and it's just like, well, they're bringing this features to chat and these features to you know, the panels and all this sort of stuff. They don't give the security details out, but just a roadmap, because at the moment we have people have no idea what Twitch is working on.
No one wants to it'll be, what are you doing? Not enough to tell us you're doing something. You'll be told on Twitter they're doing something. It's not enough. People want more.
Yeah.
And they're saying we can't give you that. Because that breaches how we can.
Is that
we can
just...
say is, here's a roadmap of releasing next 3 months.
You're talking security-wise?
Yeah, in a roadmap.
Yeah. I'm not talking like security wise. I'm just talking anything.
I mean, like, it's never enough.
Yeah, you're right.
Master, they're gonna come at it and go, what is that? Don't
Yeah.
tell us you're doing
It's true.
Twitch without the details.
Yeah.
Everything I'll Twitch off.
Yeah, you're right.
Never gonna see them celebrate.
No. It's true. It's true. I mean, that's going to be the case regardless, right? I'm not a Muppet, Sam, no. Yeah, and Crackle's right in that it will never be enough for some people. And if you look at any, like I say, the people who respond to Twitch on social media, all they're there for is... Can I shorten it? Yes. Crackle was saying that if Twitch puts out a roadmap, there will always be people who will want more detail. You know, they'll want the absolute specifics, and they'll want more and more, or they'll disagree and say like you're wrong and that's like you shouldn't be working on that or whatever. Which is true. The people on social media are pretty shit at Twitch. And like I said, even if Twitch brought out the perfect fix for the hate raid situation, there'll always be people who complain and say that it's not enough.
Yeah, Sorry, I was saying it loudly, not to yell, but because I was trying to get the mic to pick me up.
Yeah. So yeah, she's right in that. My point being that a lot of people hassle Twitch because Twitch doesn't communicate at all. So whether it's a roadmap or whatever, Twitch is very silent in regards to its user base as to what's happening until they release something. And only when they release like a new feature or whatever, other than that, Twitch is radio silent. So it's like, well, what's happening? These current issues that we've got, because there's a range of issues that are taking place, not just the hate raid thing. And they've responded to the hate raids, but everything else, silent. So are you looking at it? Have you acknowledged it? What's up? And yeah, Crackle's right. There are people on social media and details will never be enough for them. But yeah, communication, to me, communication is the big thing. Like, even if it's just we hear you, we've noted it, it's something. There'll always be people who are not happy, but I think something is better than nothing for most. Because a lot of people are complaining because it's like Twitch doesn't listen. And it's like they could be listening, but they're just not acknowledging you. But it makes people get frustrated because you feel like you're not being listened to. People moaning in Twitch's tweets are most likely looking for clout. Or just being bitches, CJ. You look at the comments of any Twitch tweet, and you can just see a bunch of people, and it's just like, do something productive. Like, this is the language they use and stuff. It's like, Twitch is not going to respond to you. That it's not how you get something done. A lot of the time for the language that you see and stuff. It's fine. And yeah, it's not just social media, Bear. It's news broadcasts. And those news broadcasts are a bit iffy. I'm not sure how many people really trust the details in them. As we're seeing with game journalism, it's not a lot of background checks or research or actual factual details are being used. So yeah, I can understand why they can't provide this detail. Absolutely, because then yeah, the malicious people, malicious actors they call them, will just change their tools or their scripts or whatever to accommodate whatever changes there are. That totally makes sense. Why don't you incorporate quicker fixes to curb immediate harm, in addition to building longer-term tools? Our team is implementing quick ways to reduce immediate harm, from updating site-wide proactive detection to banning bots and the ban actor accounts behind them. The work is behind the scenes, but it's constant. And they don't really give specifics on that, but this will be just banning accounts and all this sort of stuff based on reports, but maybe tweaking a couple little AI things that they've got. But yeah, there's not a lot there, but they have communicated more than what they normally do for issues. So yeah, it's something, but it's not a lot. They still haven't given a time frame of when they're going to release anything. They will be developing something, they'll be testing it, but we still don't have a time frame. And that's part of the communication problem. They've said they're working on it. They've said they'll get it out later in the year. And that's like all you'll hear. But they could be like, we're in testing phase, or, or we're still working on it. Something. But the fact there's radio silence, it causes people a lot of fear, frustration, confusion, that sort of stuff. And on that note, who took part in a day off Twitch last Wednesday? For those who aren't aware, a day off Twitch was technically a strike. Hey Babs, how you doing? Where was I going? I totally mind blanked on that. No, it's not your fault. A day off Twitch was technically like a strike or a protest last week, where on Wednesday it was meant to be, if you're streaming, don't stream, stay off the platform, don't spend money on the platform, all this sort of stuff to try and get Twitch's attention that this is a problem and get them to do something. Working, but you tuned in. I appreciate it, Babs. Hopefully you're doing well. I really liked your cosplay recently as well. By the way, very impressed. As always. Very, very impressed. You didn't know about Sam? Very much coordinated over Twitter. It wasn't coordinated super well, I didn't think. We spoke about it last week, and they just said Wednesday, and it's like, well, what? Wednesday for people in Australia? Wednesday for people in the US? It wasn't until like the day before that they gave a time frame for it, or you know, time zone specification of it. So anyway, it was to get Twitch to notice that there was a problem by hitting them in the pocket, because if you're not on the platform, you're not generating ad revenue, you're not subbing, all this sort of stuff, as well as just lowering its stats. The only problem is before the day off Twitch, Dr. Lupo announced he was moving to YouTube, and Timthetatman announced he was going to YouTube as well. And they were live streaming over on YouTube on Wednesday. So that you could already assume that there would be a huge audience that is not on Twitch on the Wednesday, because they're over on YouTube watching Dr. Lupo and Timthetatman over there, which made following the stats really difficult. So Zach Bussey here, he did a little bit of a data analysis after the Wednesday to try and see how much of an impact it was. But we had... Yeah, so he's laid it out pretty well, and he's accounted for it, taking averages previously about what Dr. Lupo had and Timthetatman, their viewers would be, and all this sort of stuff. He also had Gamescom as well taking place. So that was, Gamescom was earlier, but it skewed previous stats and stuff, so a bit of math. Here, and he also factored in back to school for a lot of places as well. Anyway, there's a great article on it, and he's broken it down and put it in here. He's gotten a lot of flack for this as well, by the way. So anyway, he crunches the numbers and stuff, and Selinome graphs, all this sort of stuff. Back to the school factor, and in the end, depending on a bunch of variables, this is why this is always hard to understand. The impact... Why did he get flack? I'll get to you. It's not what you think. So in the end, there was the potential of either 5 to 15% less viewers on the Wednesday because of a day off Twitch. Right. Biggest case scenario, 15%, which is quite a significant drop when you think of how many people are on Twitch at any given time. 5% at its lowest. If you're excluding Dr. Lupo and Timthetatman's highest audience, Gamescom, all this sort of stuff. So anyway, either way, 5% of the audience size that's on Twitch is still a decent amount. Will Twitch notice from it? Will it make any impact? Not really for one day. So Zach received a lot of flack because he crunched these numbers to come up with a moderate impact based on all these other factors. And like a ton of people laid into him because they're like, oh, you know, did you account for this? You know, this new game release or this other game was down, or, you know, whatever. So he got a lot of flack from all these people saying like his numbers are inaccurate because he didn't account for X, Y, and Z. And he even got a little tetchy and telling people to like give him a break. I made a joke that, you know, did he account for the recent crop circles and, you know, the moon alignment and all this sort of stuff? You know, people are just being ridiculous. So anyway, he did his best efforts, right? There's too many variables to account for everything. Even Selinome came out to show what they got. If you don't know who Selinome is a website for Twitch statistics. You can see your own channel statistics. You can see category statistics. You can see the overall platform. It's, if you like stats and numbers, it's a very, very cool website. Just data. It doesn't look pretty. It's just data. But a lot of it's actually important. If you wanna see how the platform's doing, see how other people are doing, see how your own channel is doing, it's pretty informative. You like Devin's idea for Day Off Twitch, which was turn on your stream for the entire day, costing the money to run the stream, but only put up a message about demanding change or a list of demands. I have to wonder if it costs Twitch much to have your stream on, though. You'll use live streams as a figure for advertising. Yeah. It would also generate ad revenue if anyone was watching your channel anyway. If the VOD was saved, it would cost them in storage, but I'm not sure if it would cost them much. Anyway. Because they're on AWS, they've got like unlimited storage, essentially. But yeah, Sully Gnome came out and they said it was the third lowest day on Twitch for this year, with only the 28th of June and New Year's Day being lower. Not sure what happened on the 28th of June, but server would still be running. Yeah, server would be running. You may uptick the resource usage on those servers by the tiniest amount by being live. Not sure if it would have a bigger impact though. I mean, Twitch would probably love it because it'd be like, how popular is our platform? Because they, in regards to your individual content, unless you're a huge name, like say Dr. Lupo, for example, if he was still on Twitch, that is, us mortals on the platform, they're not going to care about what we're streaming content-wise. Essentially, we don't matter enough. It's more impact than not streaming. I mean, you could say it's you know, there's impact both ways. You know, there's impact by not streaming. If you got a big enough crowd not streaming, they lose advertising revenue. It hit the media is the thing. There's a lot of publications. I think New York Times, Forbes maybe even wrote about it and stuff to say there's a protest on Twitch because of like highlighting the issues as to why. So the media attention it garnered is also very impactful as well, because that's a reputational thing for Twitch. And that is potentially going to be a bigger impact because then advertisers might choose not to advertise on Twitch. And that seems to be the only way to get Twitch to really respond to something is get advertisers involved. 30 billion hours streamed in one day. But as we saw with the hot tub streamers, right? Something was only done when advertisers told Twitch they don't want to advertise on the platform anymore because they don't want their advertisements appearing on those hot tub streams. And that's why Twitch created the separate hot tubs, pools, and beaches category, because advertisers can select a category they don't want to advertise in. So you put all those hot tub streams in a separate category. Advertisers can say, I don't want to advertise there. And they can advertise for the rest of the platform. It's because they were in, what was it, Just Chatting previously, which is a huge category, especially for advertisers. And advertisers wouldn't want to be in there. The answer to all your questions is money? Yeah. You look at just Twitch in general at the moment is trying to generate revenue. It was said recently that they only made a profit recently for the first time. And a lot of the pressure from Amazon and stuff is for Twitch to be profitable. So that's why they're concentrating so much on ads and all this sort of stuff. So yeah, if you want Twitch's attention, get advertisers to pull out. It seems to be the only way they act with any sort of immediacy anyway. There may be other ways, but it seems to very much get them to act quickly. Similarly with the gambling stuff. So they've changed the terms and conditions so that you can't stream certain gambling things, or they're going to change that. Have they changed that? I think there was talk about them changing that. I don't look at any gambling streams or whatever, so I haven't looked at it. But they're making changes there, and I believe that's because advertisers were not liking advertising in the environment of gambling as well. Because considering there's as young as 13-year-olds on the platform, it's not best to be having gambling or age-restricted content on the platform. It doesn't look good from an advertiser's point of view. So yeah. But yeah, Grim, in regards to the everyone should stream 24/7, yeah, then that's a possibility too. Would it garner as much attention? Maybe, if people advertised it well enough. Quote was from a TV producer, and he was president of NBC. I mean, yeah, then yeah, the answer is definitely money, advertising and stuff. You went into the hot tub category to see how it's going, and there is a user, Haze Grows, who just has a cam on his plants with stoner music. That's not the right category. But no, there are a couple channels like that. But there's a couple marijuana growing channels, which is legal on Twitch so long as you're in a state or country that allows marijuana. But yeah, it's just a camera in the growing room, and every now and then you can see someone in there tending to the plants and stuff, and it's just music. And that's it. Yeah, I've seen those. No, I don't know why it's in the hot tub category. Hot box category? Only through watching some of Devin's videos over the past week, the gambling issue was crossed. Yeah. So he was a big advocate, I think, for not having gambling on the platform. And I kind of agree. I've always been a bit off the fact that people are playing slots, roulette, poker is a big one. Twitch has even hosted some poker tournaments. I'm not sure if it's really right for the platform myself. Twitch needs a gardening category. I agree, actually. I agree. I wonder how many. Wow, a lot of people do. I have seen doing like just chatting streams, but they're like, potting some plants at home, or watering their plants in their home while they're streaming. It's like a just chatting type stream, but yeah, can have a gardening category. We should submit that in user voice. Get some people on it. Where was I going? Is that the one I want to go to? Yes. No, let's go here. We all know Dr. Lupo signed to YouTube, right? Have we seen why he signed to YouTube, or what his reasoning was? Not sure if anyone cares or anything, but I guess it does. Money? Well, money is definitely one of the reasons. Yes. So this is an exclusive interview he had about moving to YouTube and why he did it and stuff. He wants to spend more time with his family, which is perfectly fine. Let's see. He spent years streaming for 60 to 70 hours per week. A lot of hours. The Bob Ross of plants. I'm not the Bob Ross of plants, but I have a lot of plants to Crackle's dismay. She likes plants. There's just a lot. If I could show you a photo of our place, it's just a jungle now. And like as I propagate more out, it just gets more and more. So Dr. Lupo, if you don't know, he's married and he's got a young kid and stuff. And part of the reason going to YouTube was so he could spend more time with his family. He gets a huge payout just by signing on to YouTube, which he's directly said ultimately makes him comfortable for life. Or he's set for life after just signing onto YouTube, not continuing to stream on YouTube, just signing. Similar to Ninja and Shroud getting like 30 million to signing over to Mixer, and they were there for 9 months, and then Mixer went down, but they still got to keep the full payout. So they earned 30 million for 9 months of work at a reduced audience size of what they had when they were on Twitch. Well, Grim, this is where the exclusive interview is on the Washington Post. But yeah, ironic. 70 hours, yeah, 70 hours. So, what I've since learned since this ultimately says he wants to spend more time with his family. YouTube also gives him the opportunity of doing different content, like just chatting, or not just chatting, travel content and all this behind the scenes content, which YouTube does allow. Twitch kind of allows it, but it's not the same. YouTube allows it. He gets a big payout. He gets to spend more time with his family and stuff. So what I've learned since this article came out was the type of contracts that Dr. Lupo and Timthetatman and the people who are properly signed over to Twitch, not just the partner contract, but these guys are required to live stream around about 200 hours a month, which is about 50 hours a week, more than a full-time desk job. YouTube's contract only requires 100 a month. Having your time requirements, and that's a part-time job, 100 hours a week. It's a part-time job. Obviously, there's all the work off stream that you have to do to keep everything ticking over and all this sort of stuff that we all as streamers know about. But having to be live 200 hours a month plus all the additional work on top, pretty crazy hours. Despite these guys hiring people who will probably manage all that off-stream stuff for them anyway. So yeah, having hours, getting a huge payout, which they haven't, no one said, there's probably a non-disclosure on it, how much you actually got for it. It would be millions though. It'll be in the millions. Same with Timthetatman. So anyway, it was big, right? It's also big for the Twitch platform. Dr. Lupo has also said the hate raid stuff on Twitch. He makes some quote about it, but he was quite aware of it at the time of moving over to YouTube and all this sort of stuff. And yeah, just either way, he's got less than his normal average viewership over on YouTube, which is unsurprising. Timthetatman, on the other hand, is doing very well. I checked out a couple of his streams on YouTube, and it was absolutely nuts. Absolutely nuts success. But obviously, there's going to be a bit of a higher, hype when he first moves over. Same with Dr. Lupo. We'll see if that dies down a little bit. But now everyone's looking at Lyric, thinking Lyric will be the next one to move over, but we'll see. We got two of the big names anyway. Something I wanted to show in regards to it was Mr. Ryan Wyatt here on Twitter. If you don't know who Ryan Wyatt is, he's the head of gaming at YouTube. Very active on social media, which you don't see a lot of from the Twitch side of things, unless it's an official message. And this has been pointed out as showing a stark contrast between the two platforms. Is there are various people from Twitch who are on social media, but they don't really talk about Twitch unless there's an actual release or an update or a campaign or something like that. Whereas Ryan here and a few others that are involved in gaming at YouTube, very active, answering all sorts of people's questions, and just putting out these kinds of posts. When Tim was live, he's tweeting about the stream, he's about to crack 100K. And when I say they're answering questions from Mr. 5 follower asks a question and he still goes out of his way to answer it, which you never see from the Twitch side of things. And this has already been talked about, the sheer contrast between the involvement from people within Twitch, or lack of involvement, to the people within YouTube. Whether it's part of the campaign of actually getting people over to the YouTube platform, getting people interested in it, it could just be a campaign, so you have to see if that continues long term. But they're making a good show of it, and people are noticing that. Makes it look like YouTube cares. Yeah, I think I shared this last time, but if you haven't seen it, I would highly recommend watching that video on YouTube about the future of live streaming. And it talks about Timthetatman and Dr. Lupo moving over to YouTube, the contrast between Twitch staff and YouTube staff, how they're acting. But this is like the creepiest smile as well. Devin goes on to talk about how live streaming itself will probably become more of a secondary content type, platform-wide, or not platform-wide, industry-wide. This is his prediction anyway. And creators will start to move towards other types of content, like recorded content on YouTube, things like TikTok, etc. And live streaming will be more of that secondary how you interact live with your audience, but it's not the only way you produce content. Which is technically what you should be doing anyway. But you don't see that exact attention for your average streamer, Twitch streamer moving across? Well, that's what I mean, CJ, is there are people who have like 50 followers who are asking questions like, you know, I've been thinking of moving to the platform, or what about this? You know, does YouTube have this kind of feature and stuff? And they are actually replying. Like I say, whether it's temporary and they're just spending a lot of time on social media responding to those questions now to try and like hype up, you know, the move over sort of thing, and after a while they'll peter off, whether they stay long term, they are actually responding to Joe Average, I guess we'll call them. Not to everyone, obviously, but quite a few of them. But you tweet Emmett Shear and you get blocked, apparently. Different. We'll come to that later. Yeah, time will tell. Time will tell. It might just be part of a campaign, you know, and it's internally they've all said, like, make as much attention on Twitter as you can. Sure. But yeah, anyway, there is a stark contrast between involvement. There was another one here, I think. Where is it? Did I not bring it through? Now, because I'm going in a weird order, I've lost my place. Don't disturb Lord Emmett. Well, I bring that up because there's a particular streamer. They've got quite a following. They've got a big following on Twitter as well. They tweeted Emmett. So if you haven't seen, we've spoken about this before as well, because it's been noticed by a lot of people. Is that how you spell his name? Did I spell it wrong? Oh my god, typing. Like, I'm typing and it doesn't do anything. There we go. Heat share. What's that tweet about? Which tweet? I don't know which tweet. We've spoken about this before. But a while back, Mr. CEO of Twitch changed his Twitter profile. He used to have a profile picture where he was wearing a Twitch shirt. He had CEO of Twitch, CEO and co-founder of Twitch or something like that. But he changed it. And it's no longer any sort of Twitch identification in his profile picture. There's nothing about it in his bio. He didn't even have the link as well. That was gone. That has since been added back in. And there was a lot of talk about when you're the CEO or even a co-founder. If you look at any of the previous co-founders of Twitch, they all brag about it in their profiles, right? That's generally what you do, especially for such a big company. But Emmett removed all of it. And a lot of people took that as a sign that he's stepping back from Twitch. Hasn't been announced officially or anything. But there's been some other executive levels, people who have left Twitch or announced they're leaving Twitch. If you go through his actual feed, he rarely talks about Twitch at all. Last few weeks especially, he's talking about all sorts of other startups or philosophical stuff. So anyway, this one notable person from Twitch and with a large Twitter account questioned him on it. They responded to a tweet of his saying, like, do you have anything to say? Or you know, are you doing anything about the hate raids on Twitch? Like, what's up? And he blocked him. Now, normally, you could mute, not even respond. Blocking them is a bit of a hostile action, and that's been noticed as well, because the person shared it. Like, didn't even respond, and blocked them. And while it's his personal Twitter account, like, why, you know, blocking them it's a bit of a strange action. And when someone was asking, you know, what's the deal? Because we're not getting communication from anywhere else. It's very weird. There's a lot of belief that Emmett is stepping down and he's potentially already handed in his resignation, but, you know, generally speaking, they have like a 6-month notice period, and it's just not been announced. you step back from his involvement and stuff. So we might see a change there, and that could be very interesting if he leaves, because we've got so many others leaving as well. The COO is leaving in January. One of the head community people has left. I think someone in marketing is leaving as well. Yeah. Why is a laptop GPU lower price than in a desktop? Smaller, less power. No one buys GPUs separately in laptops. Probably. Odd question, off topic to ask. Where was I now? So yeah, it's interesting times at Twitch at the moment. And if you watch Damon Nash's videos on YouTube, he has even spoken about it as well, how we could see quite a shift in just the nature of Twitch, the direction of Twitch, in the next 6 to 12 months with all these executive level leaving, so the culture could change. The direction could change, we'll see. It'll be interesting either way. So keep an eye on it, because you could see significant changes in the platform. If you're a streamer, if you're wanting to develop a career or you know, just develop your channel, it's the sort of stuff you should keep an eye on. It might not affect you directly so much, but at some point it might. At some point the platform might become something you don't like or don't want to be part of. Other platforms could start building up and be better than Twitch, and so it might be worthwhile looking if you want to move platform. This is the sort of stuff you should pay attention to. Moving away from Twitch, because I feel like we're ragging on a lot. Moving away from Twitch, did anyone see this tweet? It's not gone down well. Go to YouTube, it's so good. Mel. You know, Mel, so skipping where we're at. I actually was going to talk about this today, Mel, because you know why? I'm not quitting. I'm not quitting on you or your YouTube channel. If you don't know Mel, wonderful streamer, retro streamer, and just generally wonderful human. Streamer over here on Twitch, but also had a YouTube channel. Had, past tense, currently, but I'm not giving up on it. Mel had some people mass report some YouTube videos. And permabanned her YouTube account when her content is not offensive. But obviously, whether it's bots or something like that, they mass reported Mel's channel, and the whole channel's been permabanned. And you've contested it. They declined the what do you call it? The appeal. They declined the appeal twice. But now they've said they're going to give it to their team. You can't promise anything. From that video that I shared with you yesterday, which, I mean, you watched anyway, the guy was saying all you have to do is get it in front of a human. But it's because of all their automation and crap that this has happened. You just have to get it in front of human eyes to see, like, this is a wrongful suspension and should hopefully be able to restore your channel. The video had nudity in it, but it seems it was flagged as porn. But it was Sims nudity, right? I don't know if that really matters on YouTube. I'm sure it matters on YouTube. And I'm sure you weren't concentrating. I haven't seen the video. I'm sure you weren't concentrating on it and going, ooh, boobies. You know, maybe you were. But it seems wrongfully suspended anyway. I believe it was Sims. I could be wrong. I'll wait for Mel to get further details on it. Might be another one. You showing porn again on YouTube now? Anyway, I brought this up because it's not just Twitch that has a problem with bots and mass reports and all this sort of stuff. Yeah, it's not just Twitch that has these problems. YouTube has them as well, and there was a YouTube video that was for a channel that talks about cryptocurrency, and they had their channel permabanned because it got mass reported, and they got it restored, but they have a video on like all the steps that you can go through when your channel is incorrectly banned. which happens. It happens at times, right? So it's... My point of bringing this up was these platforms have all this automation behind them to deal with issues, but every now and then that automation can get in the way and can falsely impact someone. And the problem with these massive platforms is just trying to get a human to deal with it and correct it is so hard, because even their appeal process is automated. So yeah, automation is great because you need it for safety. Like, look at all the bots and stuff on Twitch. A lot of it's handled by automation, right? And it's great, and it deals with things very quickly because you don't have enough humans to manage the influx of reports and all the issues that happen. So you build automation to deal with it, but that automation can falsely capture real people or false reports or whatever and cause problems. You got a ton of info, but hard to explain? No worries. I mean, no requirement to. And if you get your channel back and make a video about it and give permission for you to share the video on your Twitch, I definitely will, Mel. I will share it far and wide. So yeah, if anyone can help, if anyone's watching, whether it's here or on the VOD, if anyone's watching and knows someone at YouTube or whatever, or can give some advice, pass it over to Mel, because it'd be much appreciated. On that note, talking about the automation, so I brought this up because there's another case of this as well. Twitch suspended this dude's account saying that he has an inappropriate username. Now, I may pronounce this wrong, but this is the guy's actual, literal, real-life name. Right? Swastik Acharya, I'm going to say, but Swastik is the first name. And that was their Twitch name, was their actual real-life name. And Twitch suspended it, saying that it's an inappropriate username. Now, we know what's happening with the hate raids, and we know it's a Hindu name. Yeah. Ultimately, this is a lesson of Twitch's automated system picking this up as well, because we see a lot of hostile accounts or malicious accounts that are spelling bad words, or hurtful words or racist words or whatever in interesting ways, right? And I can see where the automation picked this up. It looks like someone's creatively trying to say swastika. And so it got taken down. But it's the guy's actual name, and right, he's trying to appeal it and he's not getting anywhere. Because it's another one of these automated things. Automations come along and go, no, this is bad. It's inappropriate, so we're going to suspend it. Whereas it's a false positive. Now he's actually managed to get someone at Twitch to respond and say, we're gonna look at this. But he hasn't heard anything since. This was a few days ago as well that he heard that. But it's another example of automation going wrong, ultimately. And then the hassle it takes the person who's affected trying to get a human to look at it. We just have to spin it as Twitch being racist. Don't start, Kiwi. Don't start. I mean, I see your point. Yeah, let's not go there. Because as we've seen with Twitch, sometimes that makes it worse. But yeah, this is another lesson on the automation going on and how difficult it is to get it fixed. Don't apologize, Kiwi, for being silly. Now I totally lost where I was. Not that, yeah, we were coming here, sorry. Twitch aside. This guy, John Gibson, right? He is the president at TripWire Interactive. If you're not sure who TripWire is, they are the developer and publisher of a few popular games. All right, Maneater, Chivalry 2 came out recently, Killing Floor, several of the Killing Floors and all this sort of stuff, right? You had no idea who it was? I didn't originally. Took this to figure it out. So anyway, he's the president of TripWire Interactive, who's been involved in a lot of gaming stuff. So anyway, Killing Floor is alright. I mean, none of them are my type of games, but I know a lot of people quite enjoyed some of them. So, and I'll try and bring this up in a sensible way. If you're not aware, Texas over in the US passed a law that made it illegal for women to have abortions, but it also made it illegal for people to help people having abortions, if I understand it correctly. And if you help a woman have an abortion, you can go to court and you can go to jail. Not to mention, they can actually put bounties on people as well. So if you help someone have an abortion, a bounty can put on you, so people can arrest you and they get a reward. So it's not a great law either way. So anyway, it's not a well-received law, as you can imagine. Very not well-received. So the president of TripWire said this, because, what was it? It went to this law passed in Texas. It went to the Supreme Court to get it. People took it to the Supreme Court to get it canceled or whatever you want to call it. And the Supreme Court said, no, we're going to keep it. So John Gibson here is, yeah, the abortion law stands. As you can, while this is his personal account, and how am I going to word this properly? It's his personal account, so he can say and do what he wants, which is fair, right? That's the platform. But when you're the president of a company, you put all your employees in the firing line based on your views, right? People will now go to the employees of that company. If they don't agree with his opinion, they'll attack other employees of the company because of his opinion. Or they'll question other employees based on his views, thinking that they support his views. May not be fact, but that's just how this works, right? If the president of a company says certain things, the rest of the company is highlighted under that person's views, right? So, right, he's allowed to his opinion, that's fine, but it's the impact that he's putting his employees on, that's the problem here. And this has not been well received. This has exploded. This has exploded, and not in a good way. I haven't seen anyone supporting him, but let me go back. Can I go back further? Because we need doctors to be in court, not treating patients. Exactly right, Kurt. By the way, Sub-Zero, how you doing? The Maneater made you think there was a Sharknado game? I mean, if you've played Maneater, it's kind of Sharknado. Doing well otherwise. We just want to party like it's 1860, y'all. Let's not start. Texas needs a slapping. I mean, it's Texas. Needed a slapping anyway. Law is terrible even if you're pro-life. Yeah, so I won't go into the law itself or the opinions of those who support the law or whatever. You're allowed your opinions and stuff. It's not a debate about that. I have my views about it. I'm not going to go into it. But it's more the occasion of something like president of a company, what the repercussions of their opinions mean when they put them out there. So anyway, when you get people like CoCarnage, if you're a game developer and you get people like CoCarnage making a comment about it, it's going to get eyes on it, all right? In regards to games itself, when it comes to audience size and influence, Co's got it, right? And when he comes out going, I'm going to step away from your games and not support your company anymore, that's going to get noticed. Got some breakfast, Sub-Zero. Don't tell me what it is, it'll make me hungry. People think a 12-year-old has a right to not wear a mask in school. It's not. Kurt, appreciate the alert, man. Had to pop in to make fun of your country for a sec. Should we even consider Texas part of the same country? Because I feel like it's not. I really, really feel like it's not. Or maybe the rest of the US doesn't want it to be. Just considering what's happening in Texas. Speaking of, Crackle kind of made a bit of an observation as well. Texas is passing a lot of laws that Democrats and how would we put it? Non-conservative people don't like. Right? Texas has been passing these laws. There's been an influx of people moving from places like California to Texas because of the tax differences. It's especially influencers and streamers and stuff have been moving to Texas because apparently the tax laws are a lot more lenient and a lot cheaper. So it's a great way to save on some money, right? You pass a lot of laws that the type of people from California don't like, and they'll leave. So maybe they're passing this stuff because it'll get Californians out of Texas. It's fine having different opinions, but it's also normal that people will avoid certain companies if they come out supporting something that they really disagree with. Yeah. And as a CEO, you have to be careful what you say openly. Yes, absolutely. And like I said, he's entitled to his opinion and what he believes in and all this sort of stuff. But as soon as you put that belief or that opinion out there, and you're the president or the CEO, it puts the employees of that company in the firing line, and that's the problem, and that's what a lot of people are saying. It's similar to Activision Blizzard. You know, all these sexual harassment charges come out, and everyone starts questioning women or even men who work for Activision Blizzard, going, "Oh, so you support sexual harassment, do you?" Because they see the reflection of the corporate level or the executive level, and they reflect that to the rest of the company. Not that that's correct, but that's what happens. I feel like Texas could secede and do its own thing. I feel like the rest of the US wants that, Sub-Zero. I feel like the rest of the US wants that. Texas wants that. Why don't we just let it happen? Is there any way you can like disconnect it and push it off into the Gulf and it can be its own island? Oh, did the company respond to it, Mel? I know there was a company who's a partner with them. Like they work interchangeably on some games, and they've gone, yeah, we're no longer working on games with you guys anymore. The fact that TripWire has actually come out. Hold on, let's see if we can find it. I was wondering if they were going to respond to it. But yeah, I know one of their partners has severed ties with them. Unless it was the other one. Maybe it was the other one. Yeah, this goes... Tripwire doesn't actually tweet all that much by the look of it. Yeah, it was the partnered one, which I didn't grab a link to actually, but I will. Yeah, the partner company is separated from them, but just been like, we're canceling contracts immediately. And again, that's going to impact the people who work for TripWire, because there's potentially, especially in the gaming industry, job losses. If games are going to get canceled or delayed or whatever, there could be job losses and all that sort of stuff. So again, it impacts the employees more than it does the guy whose opinion it is. Did that. Moving on to simpler times, I guess. Simpler subjects. So yeah, I just wanted to highlight that because I retweeted it and I made a comment that it's ultimately how you lose a lot of your audience as a game development company. The good old days before the internet, we were all just clueless. So Vithka, what did all these trolls and people who have no real time? No, that's not the best wording. The people who don't seem to do anything with their lives except troll people and just be toxic online and stuff, what did they do with their time before the internet? Did these kind of people not exist? Oh, wait, no. They went out in public and they got their ass beat for being asshats. But we can't do that over the internet, so... Prank calls and write angry letters. Touche. Touche. Gives you a lot of food for thought as a Twitter user. How so? Sub? How so? Just out of curiosity. But no, yeah, prank calls and write angry letters. I mean, people still write angry letters. Do people prank call anymore? I know there's scam call. Do people prank call anymore? I haven't had a prank call in a while. They would play that game where you push the wheel with a stick. You get prank calls to the call center? Really? Interesting. I'm sure that's a load of fun. You have a thing called the phone, but you never make calls on it? Yeah, same. Unless I like really have to. Even when it's the COVID contact tracing line. I feel like they should be charged Vithica personally for that sort of thing. It's like calling 911 or 999 or whatever it is for your country as a prank call. You were at Taco Bell the other day and you were getting your order and they were getting a prank call. Fast food places do get it, yeah. It's like, you know, pizza places get it all the time and stuff. It's true. You got a DM from YouTube today. Was hoping it was good news, but it was just how did you find our service? Do you really want me to answer that right now? You have fun with it? Usually they just repeat what you say and you go, I will look for your file by your phone number. Speaking of what, there was a, going around social media, there's a video of a woman who calls 911 in the US. And when I first started listening to it, I thought it was a prank call or, you know, one of those calls where someone's really stoned and they call the police about having their food delivered or whatever. So anyway, video starts and it's like the 911 operator saying, you know, 911, what's the emergency? And it's a woman asking for pizza. She's like trying to order pizza, 2 pepperoni pizzas or whatever. And the dispatcher is like, I think you've called the wrong number. And the woman's like, no, I haven't. And thankfully the dispatcher clues onto it and is like, are you currently in a position where you cannot talk to me? And the woman responds, yes, that's right. Like she's confirming the order on the phone. And it turns out that she's actually got a really hostile guy with her. And the dispatcher is like giving her clues of what to say so that she can respond correctly. You can hear the guy yelling in the background and stuff. And the dispatcher's like, okay, if the person's currently armed, can you order double pepperoni? And the woman orders double pepperoni. And it's like, at first I thought it was a prank call, but it turns out to be real. And it's just this really good exchange of using code in an emergency. It's a bit harrowing. Woman was fine. Issue got dealt with. MVP dispatcher, yeah, absolutely. The fact they clued onto it, like, because you get a lot of those calls where it's, you know, someone's prank calling or didn't realize they dialed 911, but this one got it really quick. Probably why it's being shared so much. Well trained, yeah. I'm sure that's part of training as a dispatcher as well. Yeah, different dispatcher or one who's not so clued up or whatever, and you're fucked. Yeah, absolutely. Tonda, how you doing? Happy Monday. Sorry, Sub, going back to your message. You yourself are very progressive in your stances and find yourself tweeting and retweeting a lot of that on your Twitter. While you don't mind losing followers based on it, you didn't bring the logic of the ramifications of the people around you to the full conclusion like you did. This is the reason why superheroes and comics have secret identities. Kind of, yes. It's actually a suggestion in regards to being an influencer or social media streamer or personality, anything like that, even actors, right? The suggestion is to have 2 social media accounts. Your on-brand social media account where you kind of tailor and curate your timeline, and your private or whatever that is a bit more anonymous or definitely not connected with your other profile, where you can rant and rave and talk about whatever personal opinions you might have. Keeps it separated from your brand, potentially doesn't cause those ramifications for the people around you, like you mentioned. So this president of TripWire, if he had another social account that wasn't directly known to be him or associated with the TripWire, he can talk all he wants, right? And it wouldn't have the ramifications against TripWire that it has. You gotta go, Mooncake Noise. Thank you for hanging out. Hopefully you have a good rest of your Monday. Friend's a 911 dispatcher and there's a lot of code, more than most people know. I can imagine. I can imagine.
Drink your prune juice!
Thank you, Sam. You got a Tonda is a fart secret club on Twitter. Can you send me an invite, Mel? Can you send me an invite? I would like to join this club. I'm interested in your newsletter and I would like to subscribe. Moving on to more more nice subjects. Twitch has a new category. Not many people will probably be interested in it, but software and game development. I know I'm interested in it. So there used to be, it was makers and crafting, and there was something else as well that game developers or just developers in general would be under. But now the software and game development to put it into an actual category, which is kind of nice. If you're interested in game development or software development, you can head straight there. I like the idea. Not many other people will be super interested. It's quite niche. You love watching people type. I'm glad, Space. They need new categories. No decent games since 3 years. Ooh. I wouldn't say that too openly, Sam. I will kind of agree with Space, though. I visited several development streams. Majority of them are not super exciting because generally speaking, it is just someone typing. But every now and then you get a developer who's very open to answered questions, explaining what they're doing, and it can be quite interesting. But yes, majority of them are not super exciting unless you're maybe very, very interested in the subject matter. They need to put more indie horror titles in because half the time you can't find your game. That's up to the developers and publishers in adding the categories, I believe. Ask all the devs questions so they can't get any work done. I mean, let's generalize a little bit. And yes, developers generally aren't very conversive or social or able to sort of explain what they're doing at beginner levels or sort of things, or, dumb things down. From personal experience as well, that's generally the case. Developers aren't super social, and the context switching of concentrating on the code that you're putting together and then having to speak to someone can throw you off doing the code. So yeah, it can be quite difficult. You'd watch it? I would too, if I found the right channel, that is. So anyway, new category. If you're interested, it's there. We could actually visit it and see. You work on a dev stream where they work on the art and music. That's actually quite interesting. Slightly different, right? But I'm interested in all the areas of like game development, and yeah, there's sound, art, animation and code and all this sort of stuff. There's a lot. There's actually a few channels in here. Kiwi! Thank you for gifting a sub to Vithica. Vithica, congratulations on your ad-free viewing and your emotes for the next 30 days. Kiwi, thank you very much for your generosity. Appreciate it. So wow, there is a surprising amount of channels in here. Although Fortnite, no, that's GTA. I'm not sure they're in the right category. Why are they filming their TV, by the way? There's a reason why they only have one viewer. Discounted? You're right, it is discounted thanks to September. I saw a dude that was working on C++ and Java code working. They often streamed under Science and Tech. Science and Tech was, yeah, that was another place that they used to put it. If you have no capture card, I mean, it doesn't look all that hot though, does it? Does it mean I get less money? No. No, for September, the streamers get the same cut. Although I'm assuming it's based on the region you're subbing from, Kiwi. So, you know, if you were subbing from a place where it's $2.99, I'll get the cut of that. Someone streaming from America, it would be $4.99 or $5.99, whatever it is, you know, so depends on what region you are, but no, the cut is the same. Was that the Chrono Trigger Get jingle? Yes. Yes, it was. With a slightly tweaked animation to go with it. Retro is filled with bot channels restreaming other people's channels with no permission. Really? I have to say I don't go in. No, Retro. Sorry, I was thinking it was just chatting. Here's another one filming. Okay, you can't see it because I'm in the way. What is with that? Like, I'm just going to have my mobile film the TV at a really odd angle. Is this the new thing? And why are you under game development? Some people. All right. Let's see. Should be able to stream Fortnite directly from what you're playing it on, right? From PS4, PS5, several Xboxes, yes. Maybe they're playing on Switch. Maybe. Or the PCs aren't strong enough to stream and play Fortnite. Either way, it's just setting your phone up at an odd angle. Like, I'm going to put my phone below my TV. It's just weird. So 2 of your speedrunner friends being showcased there. It was a 24/7 speedrunners channel. Yeah, that's not cool. Necessity is the mother of invention. I mean, do what you gotta do, right? It's very Justin TV. Yeah, you're right. It's a retro channel, right? I have to say, I probably wouldn't notice right now if people were restreaming stuff. Taking a quick glance at it. Weird angle streams are in the wrong category. It should be an art. Space has got the idea. Space has got the idea. Yeah, I'm doing a very quick scan. I'm not noticing anything, but it might not be anything on right now. Well, someone's showing whose line is it anyway. I'm pretty sure that's not allowed. Pretty sure they don't have permissions for that. But you see that sort of thing a lot, like doing sports or TV shows or whatever. Oh my god, Caesar 3, that's a great game. Dragon Ball Z, Futurama, whatever else that says. Digimon, just restreaming that. Yep, that's totally allowed to do that. That looks like Disney movies or something. Totally allowed to do that. All sorts of cartoons. And yet, Mel, you show a little bit of Sims nudity, and boom, your whole channel's gone. You know, people out here breaking copyright should get DMCA'd, but you know, that was Russian. They don't care anyways. And I'm not going to say anything on that. But yeah, there's a bunch of dodgy stuff. You could go into any category. There's all sorts of dodgy stuff. "24/7 Speedrun" was just there with stolen VODs. Is that the name of the channel? 24/7 Game Boy speedruns, 24/7 Nintendo Wii, 24/7 Game Boy Color speedruns. Okay. Well, they only have one viewer. 24/7 Xbox long plays, all tool assist speedruns. So these are probably the channels you're talking about. They've all got similar names as well. 24/7 Sega CD. All of them take people's content. Interesting. I was not aware of this. Xbox long plays, all game long plays. Well, thankfully they're not getting a lot of viewage. They're not getting a lot of attention. Interesting. Just taking a note of it. I'm going to look into it later. I'm always adverse to going into a stream on stream because of the whole restream, stuff that you're not allowed to do. So I'm always adverse to doing that. But it's good to know. There's a number of them. There's a number of them. Who has... Why? Why? Like, what's the point? They're getting no views. So obviously this is not working for them. You told them? Nice. Yeah, I just don't see the point in this. There's like one viewer max. Stream and a stream and a stream and a stream. Okay. Well, thank you for bringing it up, Mel. I'm going to look at it. I'm going to look into it. Where was I? We did that. September. Speaking of. If you played a game that's a PSP exclusive, someone doing a stream that says 24/7 PSP long plays would try to take your content? Yes. Apparently. They'll just restream it without your permission. And without a shout out, no doubt. CJ? No. Although, to be fair, they do take it quite seriously. They do take it quite seriously. Betty, how you doing? How's the day? It's going well. Although it has cooled down. I think the sun's gone away. Been a very hot day over here in London. Very nice, though. Doing okay, other than being Monday. But no, CJ, they take DMCA very, very seriously. They action all the DMCA claims that come in. So that they can keep their safe harbor status. Simply put. Did anyone see... So September is on right now, and that means new subscriptions and I believe gifted subscriptions are 20% off. But have you also seen this Subathon challenge taking place for a select few in regards to September? There's been a few little tweets go out and stuff about the Subathon, but not many people seem to have noticed what it was, just thinking it's a September announcement. But there's actually a challenge that people could apply to, but only 500 people will qualify. So they're pretty much already full. Sun's getting real low. Stop it, sub. This is just chancers? Yeah. Although, for a DMCA, CJ, if someone was restreaming my content on Twitch, I would have to issue the DMCA claim. And what's probably happening is all the streamers whose content is being restreamed probably have no idea. Or have probably never submitted a DMCA claim in the first place. You don't join the challenge because you'd win it anyway? I mean, clearly. So anyway, the Subathon challenge, which was only eligible for, it was like 500 people, is if I was accepted into the challenge, and the way Zach Bussey explains this is it's like a Girl Guide Cookies campaign, which it very much is. So for one of the 500 participants, they have to just get as many subs as they possibly can. And they get prizes for it. You're sold. Yeah, it's for one of the 500 participants, right? You get different prizes based on how many subs you can get. It is literally Girl Guide cookies, or Boy Scouts, or whatever other program that this goes under. You know, if you sell so many boxes of cookies, you might get a mountain bike or something like that. Here, you can sort of choose between possible prizes, but if you get 100 subs, you get a Twitch fanny pack plus a $25 Twitch gift card or a ring light with remote. A fanny pack, because we all want a fanny pack, right? This is obviously to get rid of last season's Twitch merch, but 250 subs, you get a Twitch mug, which last I checked, they cost about $10. $12 maybe. But 250 subs, sure. Stainless steel straws, $100 Twitch gift card, or triangle light panels, or a keyboard controller. 500 subs, you get a bit more. 1,000 subs, 1,500, 2,000, 5,000, etc. DMCA stuff is by chance. Once your cover was muted in the VOD, and the next day it wasn't. That's weird. Let's not shoot down the bum bag just yet. Hey, if someone was giving me a, you know, a Twitch fanny pack for free, I'd take it. Would I use it? Probably not. You saw Switch Lite? Yes. Switch Lite starts at 500 subs. Instead of triangle light panels, you can get hexagon light panels or a Nintendo Switch Lite. Or if you go up to 1,000 subs, you get a Nintendo Switch plus Apple TV 4K. You know, that's a pretty decent little winning there. Yeah, Crackle behind the green screen here is saying, just another way to help the top streamers again. Because, I mean, realistically, who's getting 1,000 subs, right? Hands up in chat if you've ever had 1,000 subs before. Oh. 1,500 subs, you get a green screen with stand. It doesn't even say if it's an Elgato green screen, by the way. You can't get a Nintendo Switch. I just cap it at 1,000 subs. No more subs if I get 1,000 so I can get a Switch. I don't want any of this stuff. If you had 1,000 subs, every follower would be subbed. I mean, that's the dream to have, right? You want a Steam Deck Lite? Something you can actually fit in your pocket. The Steam Deck they showed is like 12 inches long. Yeah, it's quite a big console, isn't it? Do you need to give 999 more? Yes. I'm not part of the Subathon challenge, but yes. From a knock-on effect, they may have streamers improving their content so they get more subs. Yes, Betty, but this is limited. All of these prizes are limited to only the 500 people who got into the program. It's not anyone. If it was for anyone, that's a different story. But yeah, it was only if you were one of the 500 who got selected. Which I can tell you, probably all of the 500 are probably partners. Probably have a record of getting a certain amount of subs or something as well. Purple picnic blanket over a Switch. Tonda's got the priorities right. 5,000 subs is where it ends. Twitch black utility duffel backpack, which are actually quite stylish. 2 mugs, a beige bucket hat, light up mouse pad, purple picnic blanket, stainless steel straws, 1,000 Twitch gift card. That's a lot of gift subs or bits. 1,000 Amazon gift card. I mean, what else do you need after you've got all this stuff? Or Beats in the ear headphones, Apple TV microphone and HD streaming camera bundle, Nintendo Switch green screen with stand, ring light with stand, hexagon light panels, triangle light panels, keyboard controller, and some gift cards. Yeah, the $1,000 gift card, like Amazon gift card. That's pretty worth it itself, I gotta say. A 400 euro device for 2,000 euro fortune isn't too bad. I mean, not to mention, you're getting paid for this as well. So if you get 5,000 subs, You get whatever that, the payout is, just depending on where the subs come from. And you get all this starter stuff. It's not bad for the streamer. Beige bucket hat, very new radicals. I would never wear it. You were here for the bum bag, but you draw the line at the beige. Yeah. Though if we look up here, it doesn't look beige. It looks white. That's a bucket hat, right? Thermos is nice. The mugs are nice. The mugs are nice. Some of the Twitch merch is actually nice. Says the guy wearing Twitch merch. But yeah, it's very Girl Guide cookies. Select group of people can take part and you get prizes for getting your community to sub to you at a slightly discounted rate. So there we go. Hold on. Plausible scenario with September Subathon challenge. What counts towards the prize tiers? Subs and gift subs count towards the prize count. Who can participate? Only the 500 people. Can I participate if I'm outside the US? The challenge is US only. Of course it's US only. All the good stuff is US only. Yeah, Crackle says, why US only? Exactly. Because Europe does not exist. No, it doesn't. I didn't know it was US only, so just found that out, and I'm even more disappointed in Twitch. In that case, you won't do it? Oh. Can I mix and match prizes? No. What if Twitch runs out of a listed prize? Then you get the alternative. Why only 500 people? This is the first challenge of its kind in the US. If y'all like it, we'll fancy a way to include more people and prizes in the future. Probably still only the US. US gets everything first. Only Americans and the top streamers are benefiting. Yes, Serena. As always. As always. Because only we exist. Sorry world. Ficos, you live in Florida. You don't count. Mel, thank you for the alert. So anyway, if you're an American streamer who had a large Turkish audience, that presents the riskiest position for Twitch. For Twitch, subscriptions in Turkey cost $9.90 Turkish, whatever their currency is. After the 20% discount on gifted subs, it drops the price down to $7.92. That works out to 95 US cents per sub. Streamers get 62.5% of the split during the promotion, which works out to be $59 US. I'm sorry, world. Couldn't hear you over my America. Hey, T, how you doing? It's not your fault that people from other places aren't interesting to watch. Wow. Wow. So I'm just going to point something out. 5,000 subs would cost this much, which the streamer would receive this much, almost 3K. That leaves Twitch with 1,800 from those gifted subs. Aw, poor Twitch. And considering the prizes available for the 5K tier and they're running a deficit, but that's probably something Twitch assumes won't happen. Yeah. Yeah. Twitch is selecting the people who enter. And it wouldn't surprise me if they're picking people who might get this range once in a while. Less so much this range once in a while. It's a company. They don't want to give money away. They don't want to lose money. It wouldn't surprise me if Twitch is picking, cherry picking people in this sort of range, maybe. It's good incentive, but that's a lot of subs. It's far too expensive to send out a water bottle from the US. I mean, CJ, have you ever tried buying Twitch merch from the US and trying to get it over to the UK? They do have a store here now, yes. They don't have the entire merch range all the time, but beforehand, when they didn't have a store on Amazon out here, completely different story. What will poor Bezos do without his Twitch Bezos bucks? Well, he's not in charge anymore, sub. Tonda, you're probably right. Oh, we ran out of the more expensive prize. Sorry about that. Here's the the Twitch fanny pack alternative. You have a few t-shirts. Did you buy them from the US store or the UK store, CJ? May not compare shipping to the UK at the moment. That got ugly last month. Let's not go on. Let's not talk about that right now. So yeah, anyway, this is Zach Bussey's breakdown. So yes, this is risky for Twitch. I don't see that many people in Turkey subbing on Twitch though. There's probably not even 5,000 subs from Turkey on Twitch at the moment, collectively. Twitch fanny pack. I mean, who doesn't want a Twitch fanny pack? These prices don't seem that great. I'm sorry. A $1,000 Amazon gift card would do me just nicely. And don't forget the beige bucket hat. This one, though, I'd get rid of the Beats headphones. Don't need those. Apple TV? Nah, probably not. Microphone and an HD streaming camera bundle? Depending. Nintendo Switch, I would keep. Green screen? Don't need. Ring light with stand? Don't need. Light panels? Could be cool. Don't know what a keyboard controller is. The other gift cards and stuff? US store, it was the only option at one point. Yeah. Back around 2017, 2018. Yeah, I tried buying some stuff as well, and just the shipping to the UK was ridiculous. It was more than the merch itself cost a lot of the time. All this fanny pack hate, the pack is actually useful. Debatable. There is a very large Turkish community. Well, yeah, here we're talking about they have to be subbing to a US streamer as well. So, yeah, that's probably not very huge. Exactly. Most of the sellers aren't even Amazon anymore. I think that's a different story over here. Space. There's definitely non-Amazon sellers here, but it's definitely more Amazon sellers over here in the UK. So it seems anyway. If you're getting that amount of subs, you probably have everything they're offering. Possibly. Makes sense that this is US only, right? Because otherwise, how would this work with different prices of the subs in different countries? Because it's not based on the streamer Kiwi, it's based on the person subscribing. So there could be a US streamer in this campaign who is being subbed to by Turkish viewers who are paying the Turkish sub price. The chances of that are probably very small, though. Postage was bad enough, then the address confused USPS went on a magical mystery tour of Kentucky. Nice. Yes, I've had my own, or we've had our own adventures with the USPS service as well. A package that was meant to go to, where was that ring meant to go to? Tenerife, yeah. A package that was meant to go to Tenerife went to Florida and disappeared. Because apparently the return address in the UK was too difficult to understand. Weird with all the restrictions and rules. Played PUBG with the hope because China is so restricted now. It didn't change anything. So the same with this stuff about the conversion. Don't know how to explain. I mean, would you be playing with Chinese people on PUBG? Wouldn't they have their own Chinese servers sort of thing? Or you know, regional service you connect to? I haven't played PUBG in a long time. I'm not entirely sure. But no, the whole China banning under 18s from playing games except for 3 hours a week, 1 hour a day, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, that's going to have impacts on esports. Florida, the new Bermuda Triangle. I'll keep my comments quiet about what happens in Florida, CJ. She just came off from China, was awful. Other Asian countries, but we know most are Chinese. I thought they were more like Russian or something, but who knows? But no, for those who haven't heard, a law was made in China where anyone under the age of 18 can only play games 3 hours a week maximum between 8 and 9 p.m. on Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And if you're aware, there's a lot of Chinese esports teams. And generally speaking, esports teams are younger people, or at least they've played a lot in their younger years and gotten good enough to then be recruited into an esports team. So what are they going to do now? Because that's going to be hugely restrictive on anyone being able to play competitively or even train. Because what if you're playing League? Some League matches are like an hour, if not more themselves. You can't even play a full match. How would they keep track of that? Depending on the game and stuff, Kiwi, because it's like mobile games, it's PC games, it's everything. They do have access to a lot, and I believe it's going to be like any game where you have to log in, and it'll just be timed and cancel you out or something. I haven't looked into the technical specifics, but apparently that's the case. You can avoid that restriction easy by crying to your parents and they claim to play themselves. It might be the case. Now you have to be an adult to be in esports. People played 11 to 13 hours to get good for esports. Yeah, a day. Yeah, I don't know. There's going to be some restrictions to it anyway. There might be ways around it as well, but either way, I don't know what the punishment... Well, there might be punishments if you get around it. I don't know. Depends on how much they police it, right? Hey, Stevie. Loving the YouTube content. Currently going back through to catch up. Thank you, Stevie. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. The recent YouTube video I did is a bit rough. I'm fully aware, but you got to start somewhere. I'm taking the advice that you just have to start uploading. We'll get better over time. You just have to stick to it. Kiwi, you're going to go take a nap. Have a wonderful nap. Enjoy. Thank you very much for your gifted sub earlier. Thank you very much for hanging out. Appreciate you. So yeah, as Stevie said, if you're not aware, I've started uploading to YouTube. It's my plan to... I've actually got it here. It was playing the You Suck at Parking demo. And my plan is to showcase indie games and demos on YouTube. So quick, like 20 to 30 minute plays maybe of a new game. So taking first looks. I wouldn't even know the game beforehand. Popping it up to give some more visibility on indie games and demos is ultimately what I'm trying to do. So the first one's gone up. You Suck at Parking, which is actually quite an enjoyable game. Hard, but enjoyable. I'm not going to play it here, but links in chat if you want to go to the YouTube channel and check it out. Like I say, it's a little rough. I'm not used to recording content or editing it. We'll get there. We'll get there. And this demo is still available, by the way. So if you like the video, if you like the look of the game, I'd actually recommend just get the demo, just have a play. It is quite a bit of fun. And yeah, it's an indie and it's a demo. Best of both worlds. Best of both worlds. That, I think, is mostly what I've got. I have now set up a coffee as well. If you're not sure what coffee is, coffee. It's just another way of supporting content creators. So because of the local sub pricing, looking at moving ways to support me off Twitch, where to platforms that give better cuts or provide other opportunities for you guys to see content and all that sort of stuff. So I set up a coffee. I also have Patreon, where, if you're not aware, the VODs from Stream Talks, like today, will be exclusive to Patreon subscribers for 30 days. They'll become public after that, so you won't see the VOD on Twitch. You'll need to go through Patreon for that. But it is cheaper than a subscription here, and I receive more of a cut from it as well. So if you want to prefer doing that, perfectly fine. Otherwise, they will become public after 30 days. Where was I going with that? Something I have to work on is how to get Patreon subs in here as an alert, as a credit or something. So that's something I'm working on for those who do subscribe on Patreon. I want to acknowledge your support. I will be putting those into the YouTube videos shortly as well once I get that sorted. Lumia M8. You okay there, Sam? So yeah, that's what's happening lately. That's what's happening. That's all the subjects that I've got to talk about for the Stream Talk stuff. If you have any questions or points or whatever, Lumia is the app. Oh, Lumia. Wait, I thought Lumia does lights. Does Lumia do alerts or overlays with stuff as well? And M8 means mate. What's this young kids text speak stuff? They're developing? Am I looking at the wrong Lumia? 42 young kid? Yeah. I've heard of Lumia, but I just thought they did Lumia Stream, isn't it? I thought they just did lights. Hold on. Chat commands, Twitch channel points, full alerts with variation. Light picker, yeah, no, that one. OBS and slobs alerts, hotkeys. Okay. There's APIs, so you could potentially do an API with it, but I don't know APIs enough. Ooh, they do touch portal as well. Look at that. And the stream deck. Okay. Interesting. I was not aware. Because it's got an API connection, yeah, you could generally do anything if you know how to set that up. Nice. Okay, I'll take a look at it. Input events, Twitch extension. What do we got? I'm trying to see if they've got anything directly here. You can test for free. Yeah. I'd simply just put it aside because I was like, oh, they do lights. I don't have lights at the moment. So yeah, I'll just shelve it for, some other point. Space, don't even start. Don't even start. The amount of being in the Discords that I'm in, the amount of people that come in asking for like advice on streaming and stuff, and they literally type like that. And me and the other moderators and stuff are like all generally the same age, and we're just like, is your keyboard broken? Like, what does that mean? And the fact that they never correct themselves, they just like repeat the same message with the same speech. It's just like, where does this come from? We no longer have mobiles where you need to cut down on the amount of characters that you need to type on because there's too many button presses. Like, you have full QWERTY keyboards. There's no excuse. Come on. That's my opinion on it anyway. They speak a different language? Yeah, they do. It's unintelligible is what it is. I don't even know how they understand each other. Anyway. Yeah, that's all the stuff I was going to bring up with you guys. It's going to be interesting to see how the YouTube stuff goes. How many people start migrating over to YouTube? I've seen a number of people who are like, yeah, I'm actually going to start looking at moving over to YouTube. You get a better financial cut over there once you qualify for monetization, that is. It doesn't have the same level of chat interaction as what you have over here. But YouTube is upgrading at a more progressive pace than Twitch is. So, and YouTube is ultimately copying everything that Twitch has at the moment in one way or another. So they're trying to bring themselves up on par with Twitch. and then potentially overtake them in regards to features. YouTube doesn't have its own global emotes. No, there's just channel emotes at the moment. For some anyway. Are we talking a cryptic way? Exactly, Mermaid. Exactly. Apologies. You have a full QWERTY keyboard. Why do you have to shorten all these letters? Stop being lazy. But yeah, the YouTube space is a space to watch. Not you space, but space to watch. With Lupo and Timthetatman moving over, it's going to increase the visibility on it, but it'll be interesting to see if they add any sort of new features or upgrades or stuff relatively quickly, or if they're banking on them moving over being big enough for the time being. But the fact you've got live streams, recorded video, and shorts now in one place. You've got multiple different content types in one easy channel rather than just having Twitch and then all your other social medias around it to provide those other content types. It's part of the reason why I'm now looking at doing more YouTube content now. You have an equipment question? By all means, fire away. I may or may not be able to answer it, but someone here might be able to. Hopefully it's not a difficult one. Although all your parts arrive Wednesday, right? I believe. 6 is your answer. That might be the right answer, Space. What screen would you recommend if you don't want to go over 200 pounds? There's a lot of options in that price range. The question for me would be, are you just going with one screen? Because you're thinking about streaming as well, right, Mermaid? You can stream with one screen, but it is definitely more difficult than streaming with 2 screens at a minimum. 2's generally recommended. You could even get 2 monitors for 200 pounds as well. But depending on what graphics card you've got will depend on if you've got 2 HDMI ports or if they're going to be DisplayPort. Yeah, depends. You've one screen already? Oh, right. Okay. Yep, but you use your laptop with an extra screen setup. Once you got your PC, you might have 2 screens. Need to know resolution aiming for. Do you want to see higher than 60? There's no reason to see higher than 60. Maybe you should use your Mac to stream off of? No, don't do that. Don't do that. No. Once you go PC, you'll never go back, Mermaid. You'll see how much easier it is, how much nicer it is. It's just so far less hassle. 400 hertz and 8K is the only way. I'm not going to go into that discussion. Your resolution doesn't make a good stream, nor does your PC gear make a better stream, nor does your flashy RGB keyboard and mouse. Does not make a good stream. SLI bridge, which you can actually use to stream with. OBS doesn't support multi graphics card. Can you still run Windows on Macs? You can, yes. Your graphics card can handle a lot. Well, that's good. What are you going to be streaming though, Mermaid? League, Overwatch. Trying to think what else. I think that might be about it, right? But no, multi graphics cards. OBS, no flavor of OBS supports multiple graphics cards. So getting a SLI bridge or thinking getting a spare graphics card doesn't work, unfortunately. Variety, but you do want to stream League. I mean, you don't. I'm of a different opinion. There's a lot of people who think you have to have, like, to stream League, you have to have 4K, 200 frames, and be able to stream that in 1080p 60 FPS. You don't. But if you're getting any sort of modern spec, you'll be fine. Does the 3090 even have SLI support? No idea. I saw the price tag on a 3090 and just completely disregarded it as ever being a possibility of owning one. You could probably stream League on an APU. I mean, you probably could, but there's a lot of people who believe you need super high spec resolution and frames to stream League, which personally I don't think is the case. You have a 3060? Yeah, you'll be fine. You'll be totally fine, Mermaid. I think the 3090 is the only one you can do SLI with. Why would you even need to do that? The 3090 is so considerably powerful. Who's maxing out a 3090? I mean, who even owns a 3090? Who's maxing out a 3090? 720 at 30 is fine for streaming. Well, it's generally recommended not to go over 720 60 frames for streaming unless you're a partner for a growth perspective. The bitrate you need, well, to go back. Yeah, the bitrate you need to go over that will start to cause viewing problems for people with slower internet connections or people who are on mobile devices. And you're only guaranteed the option to be able to change the resolution on the stream when you're a partner. Affiliates only get it, you know, by chance. And if you want to maximize growth, you want to get the highest potential audience possible. And if you're limiting your audience by having your bitrate too high, you're hurting yourself. World records for benchmarks? Is the prize for having a world record in benchmarks the cost of a 3090? Because it's like a small mortgage for that. It's ridiculous. It was, the cheapest I saw was around the £1,600 mark for a 3090. It's the cost of an entire PC itself. And then some. If people can afford it, by all means, you know, good on them, but it's ridiculous. I don't buy 1,500 video cards? No. No. I didn't even spend 1,500 on my PC build. No. But hey, you know, if you've got the money, go for it. You know, I don't care, but it's definitely up there on, you know, you would be, let's go back. No one needs a 3090, by my opinion. No one needs a 3090. A 3080 is perfectly fine. Even a 3060 will do most, if not all things, the general average gamer / streamer will need. The 3090 is future-proofing, but the price tag on that future-proofing is pretty insane. Oh yeah, Grim. I'm aware. I've seen some of the videos and stuff of the liquid nitrogen cooled stuff, and it's insane. And technologically, it's very interesting, but it's definitely not your average Joe kind of thing. Most expensive single component you ever bought was the 770. You generally go for the 70 range, which is a good middle ground, right, Tonda? You gotta go, Sam. No worries, buddy. Thank you very much for hanging out. Thank you very much for the follow. Have a good rest of your Monday. Good longevity, saving money towards the next graphics card. Yeah, absolutely. I'm still on a 1060, and I was looking to upgrade mine when the 30 series was announced. But then I started moving my content towards retro, and it's like, I don't think I need to upgrade if I'm going to concentrate on retro. It's not a big requirement really right now if I'm playing NES and SNES games. But no, if I'm doing anything else, some of the demos and indie games for recording for YouTube might start pushing the 1060 again. Yeah, good thing because I can't get them anyway. Is your liquid cooling system overkill? What kind of liquid cooling do you have, Mermaid? Liquid cooling's not overkill. let's be fair. It's just a different method of cooling. 1060 is the most common card. That kind of wouldn't surprise me. Again, they were that mid-range card back in the 10 series. And, you know, they still work. Majority of the games I play will still play. It's when I start coming to stream them, and if they're too modern or if they're not efficiently designed, then it starts impacting the stream. But I can definitely play more games off stream than I can on stream. Yeah, unless you want to spend overpriced prices, yeah, for sure. Speaking of the PS5 stuff, everyone's you know, it's hard to find a PS5, especially over here in the UK. And everyone's like, oh, you can never find them. You can never find them in stores and all this sort of stuff. But yet, there's a number of auction sites that have them. Have a lot of them. But I also found there's a website here called Nextdoor. I don't know if it's international or whatever. But it's like you put in your suburb and it's stuff that's going on in your neighborhood. It can just, there's a forum board where people just discuss stuff happening. There's posts about events. But there's also like a selling section for people giving away stuff or whatever. And I found one of a guy selling PS5s for about 50% more than what they are retail. And the picture of his sale, he's got about 16 of them stacked in his living room. His account name is under his real name. And you can look him up on LinkedIn and find the company he works for and like his social media accounts and all this sort of stuff. And it's like, reputation could easily go downhill very quickly for scalping. NZXT cooling system with 2 fans. Is it just for your CPU, Mermaid? You were on the waiting list for PS5s, but you bailed out because there's no PS5 exclusive games. Yeah, it sounds like an AIO to me. Yeah, yeah, that's fair. We got Crackle managed to get a PS5 in the first when they first made them available, just by luck. So we've had one for a little bit of while. We haven't really. Yeah, you prepped. I was on stream when she managed to get it, and I could hear her scream from the other room. She came running out. I got a PS5. Yeah, but we haven't really been using it all that much lately. It's just for the CPU? Yeah. So it's called an AIO, Mermaid. Definitely not over the top. I've actually got an AIO on my CPU. They're just a different method of cooling. Am I a talk show? Chaotic? Yes, Monday. The first half of my streams on Monday is what we call Stream Talk. We talk about the streaming industry, changes to Twitch, things that happen in among streaming or content creation. We're just winding that down though, and I will be moving over to continuing a game that we'll be playing, because we're moving into the second half of the Monday stream. I'll take a break shortly, and we'll switch over to that soon. Stock Checker UK, which is quite handy. Yeah. Amazon often has allocations of them available Wednesday mornings of PS5s. Nice. Chaotic, thank you very much for the follow. Welcome to the Dome. So yeah, just to let you know, since you're new to the channel, yeah, Monday, the first half of these streams, we call Stream Talk, and it's literally just talking about like a day off Twitch, combating the hate raids that are taking place on Twitch at the moment, new categories, the future of live streaming, so from other creators, as well as just changes to the platform, people like Timthetatman moving to YouTube and how that will potentially impact both Twitch and YouTube in regards to live streaming. Little bits of interesting news about people getting banned that shouldn't have been banned, and the repercussions. Subathon challenge. So this is a weekly stream, and it's literally just what's happened over the last week and what that means for creators and things to consider as a creator if you're looking at making streaming a serious venture rather than just a hobby. A lot of these things are impactful in ways that most people won't really care about, but it's how that might impact you in regards to your channel growth, or what you should be thinking about in regards to your content, or what you do with your content moving forwards, is the best summary of that.